Let me just give you a quick introduction of myself. I'm a seasoned marketing strategist and analytical professional. I did my bachelor's, which was business administration, or BBA, from India, and then I did my MBA from India only. Then I worked in India for more than 5 years, like I think 5.5 years. And then I moved to Africa, worked in Africa for 6 years, and then in 2017 I shifted to US to do my second master's in business analytics. I graduated last year in December 2018. When I was in the school doing my master's, I joined SAP. I've been working with SAP for more than a year now. I've been working as an analyst for business development and portfolio strategist. So I take care of a particular product portfolio for America and Canada. I do a lot of data crunching, do a lot of strategy, prepare a lot of strategies for them, and try to implement them in the market. So here I am. Up to you, Nupur.
Great. That was a great introduction, Ankur. Thank you. So the pattern of today's webinar that we follow is like for the first 20-30 minutes, I'll ask you a couple of questions which are the most frequent questions asked by students or applicants. And then for the next 30 minutes, it will be an open Q&A section where students can ask questions regarding study abroad and funding. So my first question to you, Ankur, would be at what point of time you thought that this is the right time to go and do your master's abroad? Or what motivated you to do your master's abroad?
Sure. So I was in when I was in Africa, it was like more than like it was around 10 years to be in the professional world doing a lot of different things, and I was in a point of my career where I really wanted to kind of brush up my skills and try to add on something into my profile to get that extra leap on my career. So I decided that I want to kind of upgrade myself. That is the need of the hour. And analysis and data is something which has been everywhere now. So whether you are in marketing or sales or manufacturing or production, anywhere, data crunching is a vital factor in each and every kind of business processes we are working on. I wanted to be in the strategies part of the business, and data and the analysis is a major factor in that role. I had a good experience, but the data part and the analysis part was missing from my profile. So that's why I decided that I want to get into the masters in business analytics as itself. And moreover, when I was looking for studying abroad, US is one of the dream destinations for anybody to come and study. So this is how it happened. I started planning in 2016, and I finally landed up here in 2017. Yep.
Great. So I do have a follow-up question to that, Ankur. So why particularly business analytics and not general MBA?
Sure, it's a good question actually. It's very important for anyone to choose the kind of school they want to get into and the kind of course they want to do. It purely depends the kind of profile experience you have, because because it you kind of need to direct yourself that where you are and where you want to be in the future, and what kind of course can give you that edge to reach there quickly. I wanted to get into strategies, and MSBA was the right thing to do for me. I already had an MBA, so I did not want to do the MBA again. So and MSBA has different kind of flavored in terms of the content. So there are some business analytics course in some schools which are like very maths and stats heavy. Some are very programming heavy, and some are rich with strategies and business analysis part. So I wanted to get into that space. So I chose a school, a course, and which the contents of which were purely matching to my profile. It was complementing what I have done, what I have studied, and what I was working. At the same time, it was adding on to what I want to do in the future. So that was the some of the major factors which made me decide for MSBA.
Got it. Perfect. Perfect. So, Ankur, I have a question around the timeline. So, basically, the timeline of your application. Like, how exactly did you follow a timeline, or what were the criteria on selecting the different schools? Because usually, what questions we get from students is that they are very confused on which schools to select, on what basis that they should be selecting schools. So, what were your deciding criteria? And
So
what was the timeline like? Yeah.
sure. So I started very early because I was working full time. So I would rather say that let me go and give you a process. I've made a process. Your test scores are one of the most vital thing for you. So as early you can start preparing for your test is better for you. So I wanted to come here in fall of 2017. Fall is like August 2017. I started preparing in early, like second quarter of 2016, because of my work I used to get little time to study, and I wanted to make sure that my scores are good, because once you apply, your score is one of the vital things in your application. So and that is the foundation of your application actually, because once you have your scores ready, you can understand what kind of schools you can apply to. If you have great score, you can go to Ivy League colleges. But if you don't have those great scores, you have to look for different colleges in different cities. You have to research for those schools. You have to understand what kind of schools they are. So those things really take some time. So after test score, I say list of schools were very important for me. Then there was the cost of studies in US is higher, so you have to see that whether you're going to a private school or you're going to a public school. If it's a state public school, then you might the tuition fee might be lower. If you go to a private school, the tuition fees will be a bomb. So those kind of analysis you have to do, and then you have to look for the finances. So before even starting your application process, you have to understand all these factors, your finances, your what kind of schools you want to go, whether you have those kind of scores for those schools or not. And then application processes are starts they have been started very early. So if you're applying for a fall, you can actually start as early as October of a previous year. So now if you want to apply for next year, this is the right time to start applying and filling up your applications, because they have different phases of applications. So right now you might see a lot of schools are throwing in first rounds of application. Then they have second round, then they have third round. For internationals, almost every school will close their applications maybe by February or March. Might be some school which will give you April, but by March 31st, after March 31st, is very difficult to get any kind of rounds for international applications, because international applicants need more time in terms of arranging visas and all. So they try to give that bandwidth to the international applicant. But if you see the whole process, it's a simple process, but it's a lengthy process. So from the day you will fill up your application and the day you will get your visa, it can be as long as like 4 to 6 months also. So you have to take all these things in your mind before applying. And the early you'll apply, the more chances you have to get the kind of schools you're looking for, because there are more seats available for you. But as soon as schools have started getting into round 2 and round 3, there are lesser numbers of seats available, and the competition increases for you. So those things you should keep in mind. And I would suggest, if you can get into the first round of the application, that is going to be the great thing. I was in the second round of the application. So I got my admit I think in January or February for August. So I was in the second round of the application. So after the admission, I got good amount of time with me to plan my travel, plan my visas, plan my finances, everything. Yep. Thank you.